Hello, boys and girls. You have really been rocking and rolling with your multiplication lately, and some of those numbers are starting to get bigger. One way to help multiply bigger numbers is to break them into smaller numbers, and our properties are just perfect for that. That's what we're going to work on today. We're going to start with something that's very familiar to you. You know what an array is, like this one here, that has rows and columns. And then we have blanks on the other side that we're going to fill in that will make sense as we go. So first of all, let's look at the tools that we have to work with at the top of our screen. First, we have the Squiggly Tool right here. This lets us write things. I'm writing with a mouse, so it's not going to be very neat. It's going to be kind of squibbly. That's okay. We have learned that we don't have to be perfect, right? So I can also change colors with it. Let's change colors. Let's change to blue. And let's not leave out the dog. We can also use our tools to change the thickness of our writing. We can also use these same tools. Up here, you can find an eraser tool. This one will erase the last thing you did. Sometimes it's hard to get right on it. I can get it right there. Now I have them all erased, and we're going to use some more tools as we go along, and I'll explain those as we go. So first of all, I'm going to start with the Squiggly tool because it lets me write, and we'll just leave it on the color we've chosen. Let's count first of all how many pieces we have in our columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all lined up side by side, so we know that all these columns have 6 pieces. And then going across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Going across in all of the rows. We also learned earlier that all we have to do is put a multiplication symbol here. And so now we have 6 times 10, and we're going to write it right over here. 6 times 10. We've been doing a lot of counting by tens and writing multiples of 10, and we've learned that 6 times 10 is going to be 60. I'm going to write that right here just as a little helper to help me remember what my big number is. The whole thing together is 6 times 10 is 60. So sometimes the numbers aren't as friendly as these. Sometimes it's hard and we're not counting by tens. Sometimes we're counting by 8s or 9s and things like that, and they're a little more challenging. So let's use this one to split or break up and make it easier. We're going to imagine that this was a piece of paper and you were able to take your scissors and just cut straight down one of these lines. I'm going to do that by using this tool. I'm going to change it to red and make it thicker because I want to make sure you can see it. Remember, that's this one that looks like a straight line instead of the squiggle. So I'm going to draw a line that goes straight down right here. Now, it's kind of like I have an array over here and an array over here. I can use this tool up here, rectangle tool, and I'm going to change the colors so you can see easily that I really do have 2 arrays. Here is my green array. And over on the other side, I'm going to make an orange one. Now I broke that big array into 2 arrays. It's still 6 on this side and 10 going across, but now we're going to take these numbers out. I'm going to erase them with my tools here. Take those numbers out, and then I'm going to we're going to use the other colors to write the arrays of the green and the orange one. Come on, let's get this whole number off of here. Now, I'm going to switch to green writing tool, and I'm going to count the pieces in just the green array. And then I'm going to put that multiplication table here in this first part right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on this side. Oh, we wanted to make that green, didn't we? I forgot to change my color. It's okay. I make a mistake. Can you make mistakes sometimes? Yeah, we all can. Let's just erase that one. And we're going to switch that color to green. There. Oh, get our writing tool and put the 6 right back there. And how many do we have going across here? 1, 2, 3. 3 in the green one going across. So look, I have a new multiplication problem here. 6 times 3 goes right here. And we can count by 6s. We can count by 3s. We can count all the pieces. And we're going to find that 6 times 3 is 18. Now, I'm going to remember to switch my colors this time to orange. Now, let's see, how many do I have in the orange? I'm going to start with my going across this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 going across. How many do you think are going to go down? Some of you just guessed. You're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 going across. Even though I can see they're all in a nice array side by side, these over here, I still counted just to make sure. Now I have another multiplication problem. 7 times 6. And I'm going to write it right there. 7 times 6. And I could skip count by 6s or 7s, which might be challenging, or I could do repeated addition, or I could count all of these, and I'm going to find out that I have 42. As you keep practicing, you're going to start learning where you can just look at 6 times 7 and know that it's 42. That happens a little bit later. So let's add 18 and 42 together, and we're going to wind up with 60, just like we started with right there. Now, why do we do this? Sometimes it's really easy to multiply big numbers because 6 times 10, I can count by 10s, but sometimes it's not so easy. But let's use this same one to split it differently to make it more friendly for us to multiply by. So first of all, I need to erase everything that's here except for maybe where I started. So I'm going to use my back button and listen to as I click really fast. And I'm just going to erase everything that was there. That's where I want it to stop. So now we're back to, oops, let's go ahead and draw that 6. Put the 0 back there. There we go. 6 times 60. So, I know that 10 is a really friendly number because I can break it into 2 5s, right? And 5s are so easy to count by. So let's go back to red. And this is another way to do the same thing. My straight line. And this time I'm going to make 2 arrays that each have 5 in it because I'm going to split this 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember? Split means to divide. We're dividing this one into 2 parts. So now we have different arrays. So I am going to erase the 10 and the 6. Maybe I'll do better than last time because it sure was tricky last time. Let's see. I'll start with the 6 this time. See if it'll come off of there. Ooh, most of it's off. I'm just going to maybe leave that little piece if it wants to be stubborn. Yep. Let's see if this one will come off. Sometimes it's a little stubborn and you have to click around it. Oops, I erased my red line. Is that okay? Yeah, little mistake. We can put it back, right? We make mistakes all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. There's our 2 sides. Now let's use the colors again and make a green rectangle on this side. We'll make it a little bit thicker. There we go. Here's the green side. And let's make our orange side on the other side. Now we have cut that in 2 pieces just like it was paper. And we're going to put these on each side. Let's start with the green one. And I'm going to go back to my writing tool. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to put it right on top of that pink one and try to cover it up a little bit. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's my next multiplication problem. 6 times 5, or 5 times 6. We're going to write 6. Ooh, that's a wonky one, isn't it? 6 times 5. And let's do the other side. But I'm going to switch to orange. Oh, let's first put the answer. 6 times 5. Will you count by fives with me? I'm going to use my fingers. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I counted by 5 6 times and got 30. Let's make that 3 a little bit better. 30. And now I'm going to switch to orange and we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 5 times 6. We already learned 5 times 6 is 30. And if I add 30 plus 30, I'm going to wind up with 60. So your assignment is pretty similar to this one. You're going to first put the amount that you find in each column and row in the top part. And that's step 1 of the whole array. Then you're going to choose where you want your line. You might draw your line up and down, or you might draw your line sideways. Then fill in the first array that you made and find its answer. Fill in the second array that you made and find its answer. And then put the final 2 pieces together, and you should have the same number you started with.